we've got a lot of things to go over today. This is a very exciting workshop, I think, for me. I'm an AI geek. I use AI a lot. My team uses AI a lot. I'm constantly training them on AI, and I probably need to do a better job of that, honestly. But what we're going to talk about here today is something that is very important because I think that this is one of the most misunderstood pieces of marketing for roofing companies, right? And that's social media. Social media is very important, right? And it's gotten very, very important lately. And I say lately, really in the past 10, 15 years, since it started. Social media is it's important for a lot of reasons, and I'm going to go over some of those here. But the biggest misunderstanding that I find is that roofers, y'all, try to use social media for lead generation, right? And it's just a matter of the fact that people don't go to Facebook or Instagram to search for you, right? They don't go there to look for a roofer or someone to fix their problems. They go to Google, okay? So the question then comes up of, well, then if social media is so important, what piece does it fit into in your marketing strategy, and how do we actually do it right? Okay. I've assessed thousands of roofing companies' marketing strategies, and this is one of the biggest pieces that I see every single time. Right. And a lot of folks tell me literally that we hired someone to help us get leads and they were running Facebook ads, or they did social media and it didn't work. Okay. So let's just go ahead and jump right into this. Stay tuned. This is going to be a lot that we're going to go through. I'm going to get through kind of the informational piece, and I've got some really cool things for you guys today. Please stay to the very end here. Got some great things that you can take away from this and really help your social media strategy right from this point forward. Okay. All right. So let's just jump right into it. First of all, who am I? My name is Chris Hunter. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of roofingsites.com. I am the author of the Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing for Roofers. If you don't have this in your hand or in your computer or phone or wherever that you read things, I will give you a free digital copy of that at the very end of this. So stay tuned on that one. Okay. I'm a member of the NRCA, RCAT, HARCA, all of these letters, all of these associations here. It's because we are very committed to the roofing industry. And in fact, we've been working in the roofing industry, since around 2018, and we help roofers double in size. Okay. I'm the father of three. I've got three awesome kids. Just God bless me with three just really wonderful kids. One is, I got to go through the ages, 20, one is 17, and one is almost going to be 14, at the end of this month. So, I've been in search engine optimization since 1998. My first website that I ranked was on Yahoo, okay, before Google even existed. So I've been doing SEO, search engine optimization, for a long, long time. What is SEO? It's basically getting found on Google, okay, at its roots is what it is. Random fact about me, I love to smoke Texas barbecue. In fact, this weekend, I was just telling Rochelle, this weekend, my mom's 80th birthday party is this weekend, and she requested that I smoke some pork butt, right, for our pulled pork sandwiches that we're going to make for her, along with all the fixings, potato salad and beans and sausage and all this other stuff. So I live in Texas, love to smoke Texas barbecue. I'm on a mission to double the size of 100 roofing companies before 2028, right? We are well on our way on that. We are really super dialed in on our lead generation and for roofing companies. And this is what we're going to talk about here today. Just a small piece of what we do, okay, for our clients. Okay, and I talk about this every workshop. In our industry, we have a major problem. Okay. And the major problem is that there's literally way too many choices for the consumer these days. Since COVID, we've seen a dramatic rise in how many roofing companies that are out there. And so therefore we have to compete with more and more roofing companies. Okay. So that's a major issue. And it's a major issue for the homeowners themselves the homeowners that need help, right, with their roof. It's an issue. Okay. In my opinion, you should be the choice versus a choice, right? And that's because when you come to a sale, right, or a sales decision point, if you are the choice versus a choice, it means that you're pre-sold at that point, and it just makes the sale a lot easier. Now, how do you do that? Well, that's one of the things that we're talking about here today, but that goes into the 4R roofing marketing system. Okay. I talk about machines a lot because I worked on machines. If you can see behind me, I've got a picture of the F-117. This is the jet that I worked on in the Air Force. I talk about machines a lot because machines at their base just work, right? Yes, they break, but you go fix them and then they're working again. Okay. We call a lot of our systems in our own business machines. So we've got, the reputation machine, we've got the ranking machine, we've got, all of these different machines that work together inside of a whole system. Okay. All right. So and I talked about this earlier, I have literally assessed, and I call it assessed now because when we first started doing this, we called it auditing, and y'all hate the word audit, right? And I hate the word audit too. So we call them assessments. We have literally done thousands of assessments. And the problem that I see time and time again is that every business owner, every roofing company owner is solely focused on getting leads and the tactics of what it takes in order to get those leads in. What they're missing is the big picture and a holistic strategy of why and how to do things, right? So we've created over the past 20 years what I call the 4R roofing marketing system. Okay. We can call it the marketing machine. We could whatever, right? But this is the main system that makes up everything. And it's made up of 4 pillars. The first pillar is reputation, because you can't do anything, and I mean nothing, in your marketing that's actually going to work if your reputation is either non-existent, people don't know about you, or that it stinks, right? If either of those 2 scenarios are there, it's not going to work ever. Okay. So there are pieces in this pillar that we make sure happen, meaning that we have a high conversion website. We have good online reviews and social media. Social media is the reputation piece and not the next piece, which is reach. Okay. Reach is the next pillar of the 4R system. And that's simply getting in front of more people today than knew about you yesterday. It's really that simple, right? And this is the pillar that, where most people come and talk to me about on fixing or doing or any of that kind of stuff. These are the pieces that are in there, like search engine optimization, Google Maps, Google ads, Facebook ads, content marketing, social media, right? There's a lot of pieces in here in the reach pillar, getting in front of more people today than knew about us yesterday. Okay. What we're talking about here today, social media, right? It's as you notice, it takes up 2 of these pillars, or it's in 2 of these pillars. Okay. Yes, it can create leads, but you got to be talking about the right stuff and doing and posting the right things. Okay. The next pillar is resell. We added this in here because you're 8 times more likely to sell to somebody that has purchased from you in the past. All Fortune 500 companies understand this principle. All of them. Okay. Why don't we as small businesses do this for ourselves? Okay. So resell is just simply going back to your database time and time again to sell them something else. Okay. Stay top of mind with a monthly newsletter. Add to social media. See, social media is in this one too. Okay. Because if they followed you in the past, maybe your posts are going to come up. Okay. To stay in front of them today. Okay. Top of mind awareness. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. That's who I use for a roofer. Next one, referral. Most companies start out getting referrals, and most companies are decent at getting referrals in, right? Because when you're small, you know what you're, and you're really good at selling to your past customers and referral sources and getting referrals in. But as you scale your business, as you get to the $2, $3, $4, $5 million range, I see that system is broken because it's all in the homeowner's mind, or the roofing company's mind, right, on what it takes to actually get a referral in. Okay. And there's nothing that's formalized or standardized. So we come in, we help you to standardize your referral system. Okay. That's what we do with our clients. Notice social media is in here again. Social media is so important that it is in all 4 of the pillars. Okay. Make sure in the referral system, make sure that everyone in your circle understands and knows what you give for a new roof, right? If they refer a new roof over to you, if they refer their neighbor, their friend, their family over to you, that you're going to give them a $250 gift card to Outback Steakhouse, right? Or to Roadhouse, or wherever that it is in your neck of the woods that can feed a family of 4. Okay. This is the 4R system. Okay. So let's move on then. How do we be social? Okay. Well, what do we focus on? All right. Right now, today, what we focus on, okay, what we should focus on is Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, sorry, YouTube, LinkedIn. All right. You could focus on Pinterest. If you're looking to get in front of the younger generations, right, then TikTok. Okay. What we focus on is really what we're looking in front of us. Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, if you're willing to do videos. Okay. LinkedIn. And I'm going to add another one in there, and that's Google Business Profile. It's not really a social channel, but you can add your post to that, right? And we use it for getting in front of people through Google Maps. Okay. Hang on. Bear with me. Okay. So what do you post? Right. That's the biggest question that I get. Well, what we do is we share reviews, any kind of reviews that come in, right? In the past month, we try to take those, we take screenshots of those, we put them into, actually for our clients, we put them into a nice Canva template, that has your logo on and all that kind of stuff. And we share that out, and we just simply schedule those things out. Okay. And we talk about it. I'm going to give you some prompts, by the way, at the end of this, in just a little bit here, if I'm doing good on time. I'm going to give you some prompts for all of these things. Okay. All of these types of posts. All right. Next are job photos. We do jobs hopefully on a daily basis. Okay. If you're doing a job a day, right? 2 jobs a day, 4 jobs a day, I say take photos, take before, during, and after photos, right? Before the job. What did it look like before? During the job, have your folks up there, right, on the roof. Make sure they've got harnesses and all that kind of stuff, for OSHA purposes. And then after, what did it look like afterwards? Okay. Make sure that you have location settings turned on your phone, right? Pull out that $1,000 machine sitting in your pocket. I went searching for iPhone 16s. I'm on an older phone here. I went searching for iPhone 16s. I was shocked how $1,600 for an iPhone 16. So anyways, I call this the $1,000 machine sitting in your pocket, because that's what most people typically pay for these things, right? Make sure you just pull it out and use it. Okay. Take job site photos. Okay. Next, highlight your employees. Your employees are so important. And we all understand that as we're growing our businesses. Simply highlight what they're doing and how great that they are, right? And how they're helping your customers out with their problems. Okay. So easy thing to do. And again, I've got prompts for all of these here in just a little bit. Share your blogs. We like this because, for most of our clients, Okay. We write blogs for their website for search engine optimization because that's what has driven the search engine optimization machine for the past 20 plus years, because that's what Google consumes, right? So we write educational blogs. Why not share those things to social media? Okay. Leverage them. So we share the blogs, we share videos, any kind of videos that our clients make for themselves, all that kind of stuff onto all social media platforms. Nowadays, we're also taking those videos, by the way, and cutting them up, right, into shorter reels and shorts, right, for Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. All of these platforms that we're looking at above here have a short form video format, right? Might as well share those out. Okay. I'm going to give you some prompts on how to create scripts for those, by the way, at the very end of this. Okay. So what do you post daily? All right. This is the question that I get all the time. Great. I understand that I need to post, but job site photos and all that kind of stuff. What do I do daily? So daily are going to be job photos. Make sure they're geotagged. We talked about that. Make sure that they have the location settings turned on your camera, right? That's where you find that, on your phone. All right. Short videos. These are things that you're wanting to be on a daily cycle, right? And really what I like to do is I like to see what content is performing better. You're going to see that right away within a couple of weeks on those shorts and reels, because, you're going to see that one of your videos got 600 views and the other ones typically get 60. Okay. So take that one, analyze what you did with that one, and keep producing those just like that. Okay. Interactive questions, polls, questions, content, those kinds of things. Right. And I've got prompts for those again at the very end here. You want to engage your audience as much as you possibly can with social media. Okay. What do you post weekly? All right. So we talked about daily. What do you post weekly? All right. You want to share those reviews. All right. We talked about that. If you're doing a good job, if you've got a job that you're doing every single day, you should be getting at least 1 or 2 reviews every single week. Okay. And I know reviews are hard to get. I strongly suggest that you get reviews on a regular basis for not only search engine optimization, but for AI optimization, which is coming up here pretty soon. And I'll probably do a whole, within a month or two, I'll probably do a whole workshop just on how to optimize just for AI. Okay. But reviews are the basis of all of that. So make sure you're getting reviews on a regular basis. Share your company stories. There's a story every day. I know, because I'm an entrepreneur. Every business has some sort of story every single day. Now, they might not be great stories. Okay. So you might not want to share those. Share the good ones. Okay. Share the ones that you tell your family about, right? And not just complaining about things, but, hey, this great thing happened today, So as an example, let's say, I don't know, you're wherever LeBron James is now. What is he, out in LA or something like that, right? And you're out in LA and you got the opportunity to roof his house, right? That's a story I would share. Okay. That's almost press worthy kind of news that I would share a press release on that. But company stories, okay. 1 to 2 minute educational videos. These are those short videos, but let's do them with an educational purpose. Okay. Google loves these things. And guess what? So does YouTube. YouTube is the number 2 search engine in the entire world. Okay. So make these short videos of questions that people would actually ask. Okay. And educate them in your market. Educational blogs. We talked about that. We share these things on a weekly basis for most of our clients. And we just share those things out as soon as they post on to the website. We share them out to all of the social media channels. Okay. Now, what do you post monthly? All right. Long form case studies, projects, anything like that. And again, I've got prompts for every single one of these items here. Okay. For you guys to just throw into either ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, whatever LLM that you use, large language model. Yeah. Chat, right? Whatever chat that you're using. Company updates. Make sure that you do post something about your company once a month, right? Something cool that you're doing. If If you're really forward thinking and you're community minded, you're probably looking at something in your community to sponsor once a month. I would. Okay. So whether that's the little league, whether that is a soccer team, whether that is the local biking club, right? That would be a kind of a cool one. Golf tournaments. There's tons of opportunities for you to put a little bit of money and effort into to give back to your community. Guess what? Those are great stories to share. And those are the most shareable things out there on social media. Okay. And by the way, also really good for press releases as well, right? The press likes to eat those things up. Promotionals, seasonal offers. It's important to put offers in front of people on a periodic basis. Okay. So make sure that you're doing this monthly, if not at least quarterly. Okay. Next, retargeting. We want to make sure that we retarget anybody who is interacted with you online, whether that's your website, social media, anywhere. Okay. Make sure that you are following your ads around to anyone who interacts with you. This is an advertising thing. This is kind of like when you go to Amazon and you don't purchase something and that product follows you around. Okay. So yes, it's going to cost a little bit of money. It's not a whole lot of money. Okay. But it's very, very targeted to keep you top of mind, right? For people to say, oh yeah, that's right. I did mean to call them today. Okay. All right. I'm going to wrap this piece up here with the keys to social media. One, stay consistent. I can't tell you how many people or how many pages and accounts that I go to, social media accounts that I go to on a daily basis that I go and look and I'm like, they haven't posted in a year. Are these guys even in business anymore? Worse, I've run across ones that literally haven't posted since before our COVID lockdown. I mean, come on, that's 5 years ago at this point. If you haven't posted in 5 years, you might as well shut that account down. Okay. Or start posting and just blast a whole bunch of posts out there, because you want to make sure that you are consistent with this on a regular basis, daily, weekly, monthly. Okay. Share your stories. Make sure that you're talking about your company, talk about your people, talk about your company, talk about your wins that you've had with your company, talk about your community, right? But share your stories. Stories sell. I believe that. I know that. Stories just plain sell. Okay. So make sure you're sharing your stories. Leverage your visual content. Make sure that anything. So what we do with our clients is that any kind of photos, job site photos that we have our clients take, we take that and we leverage that to the maximum that we can possibly think of. We share them in social posts. We share them on blogs. We continue to use those photos over and over and over again. Okay. Engage with your audience. If someone comments something, please, please, please actually comment back. Thank you so much. Or sorry, you're way off base, whatever it is. Okay. Make sure that you actually engage back with your audience. Okay. Don't just leave things sitting out there. Create customer-centric content. Make sure that the content is based on their problems and how you help fix them. Okay. Let me state that again. Make sure that your content isn't all just about offers, because that's what I usually see out there. Okay. And if someone goes to your social media accounts and see only offers, and when I say offers, meaning that, hey, we've got $100 off of a roof inspection or free roof inspections, that's an offer. Okay. What we want to talk about are things that are going to solve people's problems. That's really what people care about. Okay. They don't care about your offer that much. Okay. Until they know that you can help solve their problem. And last thing, education sells. Okay. Education is very important inside of any kind of sales process. Marketing is part of the sales process, right? And if you want to get people pre-positioned for a sale and make you the choice, like what I talked about earlier, the choice versus a choice, make sure that you're educating your audience on a regular basis and you're staying consistent with that. Okay. Let's talk about AI. All right. We've talked about what to do. We talked about when to post it. Now let's talk about How can we do that and stay consistent with that? How do we actually get this stuff done? Okay. AI has been huge in the past couple of years. All right. Here in our agency, we've been using it honestly for about 4 years. Okay. But when ChatGPT came out and it got so popular, right? Most people like, oh, cool. Let's go check this out. What a lot of people I see and I talk with don't understand is that it can be used as an assistant to do a lot of these tasks. Okay. A lot of our tasks, honestly, what we do, and we use it in house in order to help us do some of these tasks. Okay. So what do we use? We use ChatGPT. Okay. That's kind of like our base. That's what my base is, honestly. I love ChatGPT. We've created all sorts of really cool things inside of ChatGPT for us, our clients, and our employees to be able to use and do their jobs a lot faster. Okay. Those things are called custom GPTs. Custom GPTs are super cool because you can train them on you. Okay. You can train a custom GPT to be trained on your organization, on your personality, on what you offer, what your service area is, what your services are, what your hours of operation are, who your employees are, what they do. I mean, you can train it to do a whole bunch of things and to know a lot of things. And I think that's really where the power of AI comes, is that if it is trained on you, the more that it is trained on you, the better it understands how to accomplish what you want it to accomplish. Okay. Now we take that as a couple of steps further, and then we say, okay, well, we created custom GPTs in order to do very specific tasks. Okay. So like we've got one that writes blogs. We've got one that does social posts. We've got one that does all of these different tasks that our employees use. These are very powerful tools, and they're more powerful than I've seen in the industry in the past 23 years on accomplishing the work that needs to be accomplished on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. Okay. All of the things that we talked about. Okay. My preference is ChatGPT, but there are other tools out there. Perplexity is another one. All right. Perplexity is really cool because it's really good for research. And it can plug into, and you can choose the different models. Like for instance, the base of everything of ChatGPT is OpenAI. Okay. So you can use OpenAI as the base, for Perplexity to be able to do some research for you. Okay. There are other tools out there, that even ones that I use, that's come out even just recently. Manus is one of those. DeepSeek is another one. I mean, there's several different ones that do these deep research type tasks. I like to use them for demographics. I like to use them for, literally right before we jumped on here, 15 minutes before we jumped in here, we were doing some deep research for specific neighborhoods inside of a city. Right. And not only neighborhoods inside of that city, we were doing research on the best in that city in terms of median income. Okay. So that we could target those neighborhoods inside of that city. Anyways, Perplexity is a really good tool. I like it because honestly, it's starting for me to replace, Google. I've always been a Google fan. I always use Google, still do. And I believe that most homeowners are going to use Google to find roofers for a while. Okay. For a long while. But Perplexity is good for finding all sorts of stuff, like helping you find deals on equipment or laptops or whatever. There's all sorts of use cases for that. The next one that I really like to use is Claude. Okay, Claude is made by a company called Anthropic, and they're kind of the competitor with ChatGPT. Okay, some of what they do is better than what ChatGPT does. So I kind of go back and forth. My main tool really is ChatGPT. Claude, however, has gotten really, really good lately. And there are ways to train it, right? And I did it just recently for myself. I called it my master prompt, right? Where I trained it on absolutely everything about me, right? My goals, what I do, my companies that I own, all of that kind of stuff. And it's completely trained on me, so that all the way down to my personality levels, so that, and ChatGPT is as well, Claude can do, once you train it down to that level, the outputs that it produces is just amazing, honestly. Okay. So the other problem that, with all of this is that ChatGPT went down, right? The other day, maybe a week ago at this point, it went down and I'm like, oh man, I've got stuff to do. I jumped over to Claude. Okay. And got that same exact amount of work done. All right. Now, Claude didn't have all of the same things that I have set up inside of ChatGPT with all of these custom GPTs. I've got around 30 of them, right? Of these custom GPTs to help me get tasks done, all the way down to sales coaching. Okay, all the way down to I've got a board of directors made up of all sorts of people, right? About 5-6 different people that are influential, all right, in our industry as well as in business. Okay, I can't think of them off the top of my head, but I go to that board of directors when I have questions on should I do this with my business? Okay, can I do this with my business? Not just can I, but should I do this? Okay, so I'm not going to talk about that too much, but these are the main tools that I use personally, and highly recommend. Most of y'all are probably using ChatGPT, I imagine. Okay. Make sure that you train it on you. Okay. Make sure that, get the paid version. It's $20 a month. I mean, come on, right? You get so much more out of it with that $20 a month. I recommend the Teams version. I haven't fully moved us over to Teams, but we're about to, right, move over to the Teams version. You get a little bit more on that, and the ability to be able to share conversations and jump into the same conversation with multiple people. Also, same with projects. You can actually share projects out a little easier, stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that you can do with it, but I highly recommend just jump into the paid version. If you're a business owner, $20 a month is pretty nominal. Okay. Okay. So now let's jump into the playbook. All right. If you will, go to roofingsites.com/AI-social-workbook. Okay. Or just use the QR code that is on the screen. In order to do that, I think Resell is going to share out the link in the chat, as we're doing this. And I am going to pull that open right now. So what you should see is this right here, right? This is our AI powered social media workbook for roofers. If you scroll down, it's got the 4R roofing marketing system in it, just in case you forget exactly what that is. But what we're going to go over here is the downloads page. There are a couple links here. You've got the social media checklist link. Okay. You've got an SOP for social media posting. Right. This is literally what you need to do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Okay. All of the things that we talked about here. The thing that I'm most excited about is this prompts, right? And I asked a few of our staff to be here just to make sure that they saw this, because I spent the past couple of weeks really putting this all together. So let's first go over before you jump into these too much, right? Let's jump into the social media checklist, right? It goes over all the things we just talked about, what to post on a daily basis, weekly basis, and monthly basis here. And these are all the things that really, as roofing companies, we should be posting on a regular basis. Okay. So remember, consistency is key. And if you just follow this checklist or have someone on your team help you, with this checklist, right? I would say if you've got someone in their 20s on your team, right, put them in charge of your social media, okay, and have them follow this checklist. The SOP just goes through a little bit more detail of exactly what to do for each of these steps here, so you can go through it. It's got some cautionary notes on what to do, some tips for efficiency, right? And then some tools and resources at the very end, like Canva, our CRM, the appointment machine. Descript is a tool that we use for video editing. Super easy to use, by the way. And then, how to track your performance. Okay, so this is the SOP to follow. All right, let's jump into these prompts. I believe there are 33 pretty involved prompts that we've created here to help you with pretty much anything. If you look at this document over on the left, you've got some main headings here, AI powered. This is the swap bank. We've got project highlights. We've got employee highlights. We've got roofing tips and education. We've got promotions and seasonal offers, testimonials and social proof, engagement and community building, video posting and script starters. Okay. And then down here, we've got a whole bunch of educational prompts that you can use in order to help you generate the scripts that you need in order to create the educational material. Okay. So kind of coming from the top here, let's start with project highlights. We talked about job site photos, right? And jobs. Okay. If you just simply copy and paste this entire prompt into ChatGPT, okay, and answer the questions that it asks you, you're going to be able to do a before and after success story caption. Okay. Prompt number 2 is swipe worthy project reveal. Okay. Just simply copy and paste this entire thing down into ChatGPT, and you'll be able to do this right here. Okay. Make sure that you answer the questions, right? Give it what it's asking for, maybe some photos it's asking for, anything like that. Okay. And you'll be able to do that. Okay. So I'm going to take one of these. Let's take this prompt number 2 and let's throw it in. And I'm going to make up a fictional company that is based in College Station, Texas here. Okay. And I just simply, if you notice, copied and pasted it. Now, if ChatGPT is trained on you, it already knows your company. It already knows all that kind of stuff. But let's assume that, I'm doing this for a client, or I am, it doesn't know me. Okay. So I have to give it more details here. All right. So number 1, from before and after, this roof type in area got a total glow up. Okay. All right. I can just simply say, I like these. And let's say number 1 resonates the best. It asks which one resonated the best. I'm going to say 1. Didn't really matter. Okay. All right. So it's asking, all right, to flesh it out, could you share the specifics before photo description? Let's say that this company was called because there was a storm in the area, which happens periodically here in Texas, as you might know. Maybe we had some hail last week. So let's say number 1, hail last week. After result, we fixed the roof. We're just going to keep it simple. Roof type, we're going to say asphalt shingles, and area, we're going to say it was in College Station, Texas. Okay. So I'm just giving it a few, details here so that it can create a good, caption for our photos, right? From hail damaged shingles to flawless new asphalt shingle roof. This asphalt shingle roof in College Station got a total glow up. Swipe to see the before and after. Okay. Let's say that I want it to add hashtags. Just simply ask, please add hashtag this. All right. Perfect. Look at that. So that's just a nice and simple little caption that we can use. Do your before, do your after photos. Okay. Nice and easy. Okay. What we're looking for is quickness and speed and ease of being able to do this. Okay. So it's not going to take up a massive amount of time. Okay. All right. So that's that prompt there. There's another prompt here, customer challenge to roof solution case study. Same thing. If I copied and pasted this into, ChatGPT, we'd be able to, go through this. Now, real quick, if you noticed, I'm using O4 Mini up here. You have the option to do all sorts of different models, right? What model does what? Okay. So, and it kind of tells you, GPT-4o is great for most tasks. O3 is good for reasoning, right? Their newest model, 4.5, is really good, really good at reasoning. Okay. When you want to do deep research, what I do is I use O3 and I use the run deep research mode. Okay. If you're using a free account, you're not going to have very many of these that it's going to give to you. As you can see, I've got 23 left until July 9th that I can use, right, for the deep research. With the prompts that I'm sharing, you don't necessarily have to do that, but that would be good for demographic research, researching more into who your ideal customer is, and those types of things. I've used it to help me find, I don't want to say leads, but people in our industry who own roofing companies. Okay. So you could use it inside of your service area for the deep research part to find all of the real estate agents in your area, right? All of the insurance agents in your area. Those are all good referral sources, right? So there's a lot of possibilities here inside of ChatGPT itself in order to help you. Okay, so let's go back to the prompts. All right, so let's say that we have a team highlight that we wanted to do, right? We just take one of these, just depending on the highlight. So this one is meet the faces behind the roofs. Okay. This one is behind the scenes, right? What are they doing on the jobs, and why does it matter that we're doing it this way, kind of a thing, right? Milestone shout out, celebrating crew wins. Okay. Down here, if we get into roofing tips and education, we've got signs your roof needs a checkup. Okay. We've got severe weather. Hey, if we know that we have storms coming into our area, right? We should. If we know that we're having storms coming into our area, maybe we should post about that before it happens, maybe during it when it's happening, and maybe a little bit after it happened. Okay. Let's get some awareness out there about us and our company. Share a blog post. This is an important one, right? We talked about those blog posts. They're super important, but how do you actually share those, right? I would just simply copy and paste this. Now we go a little bit beyond this, right? And we post, for now, we post 7 different blog post social posts. Okay. Talking about that specific topic. It's called the topical authority method for search engine optimization. And it is exactly what we have gone towards, but we're leveraging social in order to do that. We're doing that using prompts just like this right here. Okay. All right. Next, create a seasonal offer. Let's talk about these offers. All right. We talked about those. You don't want to be doing all of those all of the time. Okay. And just only posting offers to your social media, that just turns people off because you're just talking about yourself. Okay. But if you're doing all of these other types of posts, when do you actually put an offer out there? Right. So, a guy in my industry, Gary Vaynerchuk, right? He wrote a book, maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago at this point, right? Called Jab, Jab, Right Hook. Okay. The whole premise behind that, okay, was that you're kind of like a boxer as an entrepreneur, right? Boxers, if you know anything about boxing, that they'll come in, they'll do jabs, 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 a whole bunch of jabs. And then every once in a while, they'll get that right hook in. Okay. With social media, with anything dealing with marketing, the jabs are the education. Okay. Jabs, education posts, sharing of my employee posts, share of the job posts, any of these other types of posts, these are jabs. Okay. The right hook is the offer. Okay. So this is where we come in and we can use these prompts to create an actual offer that will sell because it's using a hook, right? We talked about the hook, but we use a hook to draw people in. Okay. We use clear benefits that they're going to get something based off of this offer. If you just simply copy and paste this into ChatGPT, you can create a really killer offer, something that you probably have never put out in the market ever before. And I guarantee none of the roofers in your service area have done this either. Okay. So here's one for create a seasonal offer, right? We all have seasons. We have down seasons, right? During those down seasons, we want to be offering more. Okay. We want to be getting people in the door, even if they're smaller jobs. Okay. Let's keep our crews busy. Okay. So use this prompt in order to do that. Next one is create a first 5 only flash deal. So in the marketing industry, a flash deal, and you've probably participated in this before without even knowing what it was called or anything like that. A flash deal is like, hey, for the next 24 hours, we're offering this amazing deal. In this case, it's only going to be the first 5. Okay. So let's say that it's a $2,000 off a new roof. You need to drum up business, right? $2,000 off of a new roof, but only for the first 5 people that sign up for this. Okay. That's what kind of an offer that would be. Okay. So just copy and paste this in, and it'll ask you questions and prompt you on what it needs to be able to create this killer offer. Okay. Next, post-storm offer. Storms come through, right? It's been a very stormy season so far here in Texas. We had a lot of storms come through. I heard about hail the size of grapefruit, right? Softballs, essentially, up in the Panhandle. I want to say that was like a month ago at this point. Okay. We've had tornadoes. We've had all sorts of things that have come through, a lot of storms that have come through. Make sure that you're putting an offer out to your market if there has been a storm that comes through. And if you use this prompt, it'll prompt you, it'll ask you, right, for the things that it needs in order to create that killer offer. Okay. All right. Next, coming down here, and we're kind of running out of time, so I'm just going to kind of jump through these. These are great prompts that you can use to do all sorts of cool things for you. Okay. Testimonials. How do you actually share those testimonials? Well, here's a couple of prompts in order to do that, right? Turn it into a post story sell. We've talked about that. Okay. Showcase a Google review. How do you showcase that review, right? How do you take that review? And here's a simple trick that a lot of people don't know. You can take a screenshot of that review, copy and paste it. You don't even have to download it to your computer and upload it. You just simply copy and paste that into ChatGPT and Claude, right? It automatically picks it up. It can read that, and you can use it to help you create a great way to sell that review inside of your social media. Okay. Super easy things to do. All right. Next, create a customer video highlight, right? If you actually got a customer to actually give you a review, okay, using that $1,000 machine, you pull it out, you take the video, you ask them 3 questions, and I've talked about this before in my workshops. Ask them, who are you, where are you, right? You don't want the address, but generally, are you in College Station or are you in Bryan, Texas, right? So who are you, where are you, what did we do for you, how did it turn out, and what would you tell someone sitting on the fence on hiring us? Okay, those simple things, right? Take that customer video, put it in here, right? And let it see it, and then just simply take this prompt here, and you can create a great story that goes along with that video that you can share on all your social medias. Okay. Next one here, share a local partnership. Community is so important, right? We all know this. But if you've got a local partnership or a cause that you are working with, we had one client that was really into the Humane Society in his service area, right? Really on helping dogs find homes and stuff like that. And that was such a great thing to be able to share out. I think having a prompt like this would have made it just so much easier. Okay. In order to do that, involve the community, right? And a fun homeowner tip off, right? And so this is a really kind of a cool idea here, is that you can take someone in your community and let's find someone, right, for you. And, this gives you all sorts of things here. Opens with a lighthearted hook, introduces the poll, right? And you're just simply giving it side by side photos, right? What are you going to do for that client, kind of a thing? Help them choose. Okay. Anyways, it's kind of a voting kind of a prompt there. Next, highlight a customer who gives back. Maybe a customer is the one that gives back to the community. right? And maybe you wanted to highlight them. Maybe they're a veteran. Maybe they are a first responder. Maybe they're a teacher, right? These are all people that we want to help out as much as we possibly can. Let's highlight that customer right here. Okay. Now, one of the biggest things that I get questions on, okay, great. I know I need to do video, but how do I do it? What do I say? Well, here you go. Here's 3 prompts that will help you with that. Actually, 4 of them, right? So first one, film a job site walkthrough. Okay. By the way, and I will just put this as a caveat, make sure that your crews are harnessed up for safety. You do not want OSHA on your back and to give them ammunition, right? So make sure that you do that. But do pull out that $1,000 machine, right? Do a job site walkthrough. This is an interesting one. Film what makes us different reel, right? Make us tell the world what makes you different, right? That's what sets you apart. So I have so many roofing company owners that are just downright afraid to get on video. Okay. This thing, the younger generation understands the power of video. With TikToks, they watch people all day. I've got teenagers in my house. They watch people all day long on TikTok. Okay. All day. I'm like, what are you doing? But videos are so powerful in order to sell your brand, sell your company, right? Just take that thing out and start talking on it. You'll be awkward at first, but if you use a tool like this right here to generate a script for you, you can use another tool, right? Called BigView, BIGVU. Okay. That will prompt you. It's a teleprompter, right? It's a teleprompter and you can just simply turn it around, talk to it and read from it. And it'll correct your eyes from, with using AI. So it doesn't look like you're reading from a teleprompter. Okay. Anyways, this would be a powerful one right here. What makes this different? Okay. Next one, record a meet the crew. This is kind of cool, right? Just go in and talk about the crew and how great that they are, how long they've been with you, how many jobs that they do, all that kind of stuff, right? Day in the life, right? These are actually pretty interesting clips, shorts and reels and videos to watch. A day in the life of a roofer. Who wouldn't want to watch that? I mean, we're not that boring of an industry. There's tons of weird stuff that happens in our industry, and just pull out that phone and talk about it, right? And be like, this is a day in my life. Okay. I'm pretty sure that would get shared out a lot. Okay. All right. We're coming up to the top of the hour. I'm trying not to talk through every single one of these. All right. Educational list. These are the last set of prompts here. I promise. Explain a common roofing mistake and how to avoid it. Okay. You can do this either on video itself, right? You can have it create a script for you, or you can use this just for social posts using text. Okay. Either way. Myth busting, roofing edition, right? Let's bust those myths. Right. There's tons of things that you can talk about here. Right. And it's going to prompt you on what are the common myths that you run up against. Okay. Answer real homeowner questions. This is what we love to do with our blogs, by the way. Okay. Because these are what Google are looking for right now. Okay. But if you use this with social media, you're going to be able to get in front of more people and you're answering actual people's answers. Okay. Or questions. Next, what would you do? Scenario post, right? So, there's all sorts of different scenarios that we all run up against, right? But what would you do if this happened during the middle of a storm? Okay. Or this happened after the storm. And what would you do since you're a roofer? And there's just so many homeowners that have no idea what to look for or any of that kind of stuff. Okay. After a storm. Tools and tech, right? We use some pretty cool tools in the roofing industry, right? Let's highlight those things. Let's talk about those things. And how do we use technology to help us do the things that we do in our business? Next, meet the owner. Okay, there's going to be a big asterisk here. All right, there's so many roofing companies that we talk with that we even work with that they don't want to know who owns the company. I think that's a huge mistake, right? Part of that company is you. You created the company, and I think that the roofing companies that share their story, the roofing companies that talk about why they do what they do, those are the roofing companies that people are going to gravitate towards in the future, because there's so many companies getting bought up right now. Okay. That are just faceless, right? They don't know who the actual owners are. But what I've seen in the past 20 years is in the industry is seeing that those companies that are personalized for those roofing company owners sell more, just downright. They sell more. Okay. Do this, meet the leader, meet the owner. Okay. Just take this post and post it. Okay. I've got a few other tips on here, tone, how to make it sound, family oriented, family owned, community focused, all that kind of stuff. There are other ones down here on how to personalize. I gave you some tips on how to personalize. I talked about it. How do you personalize ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, any of those, right, for your brand? Simple, easy things to do that you can do here. The biggest, I think, that you can do is create a master list, if you will, a master document with absolutely everything about your company, all of your services, all of your employees, all of your service area, all of that stuff, and create that in a master document and upload that. Okay. Every time you create a prompt like this, that way it has more context about you. Now, there are other ways to do this. In Claude, you can actually do this inside of your own personalized area. Okay. There's not so much of a way to do that in your own personalized settings inside of ChatGPT, but you can create custom GPTs that are completely trained on you, your information, how you speak, right? And so forth. So lots of cool things that you can do, but just these are the easy things right here. All right. If you have made it all the way this way, you don't have this book in your hands, right? Just go to go.roofingsites.com and I will send you a free digital copy of my book, The Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing for Roofers. I want this book in as many roofing company owners' hands as possible because, again, I'm on a mission to double the size of 100 roofing companies before 2028. Okay. So just use the QR code here. If you're watching this on YouTube later, right, or you're here live, use the code. If not, if you're hearing this on the podcast, go to go.roofingsites.com. Next, if you want to know how all this works, you love knowing how all this works, but you just don't have the time to do it all, right? We understand that. That's why we are here. Let us help you. Okay. We would love to help you grow your business. We are tech nerds. We are tech geeks. We love using technology to help you achieve your goals. Okay. So if you need help, just go to roofingsites.com/schedule in order to book a time with either me or Resell. I think Resell has taken over here on some of the meetings, but we'd love to help you guys. Well, that's going to do it for another episode of Roofer Growth Hacks. I hope you enjoyed this episode and that you connect with me online. Go to LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Man, we are everywhere. Just go and look for roofingsites.com. While you're there at roofingsites.com, you can listen to other previous episodes. Now, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, roofingsites.com. Since 2018, roofingsites.com has helped roofers double their sales by getting their marketing right using the 4R roofing marketing system. If you're a roofing company owner wanting to grow your business, be sure to go to roofingsites.com and sign up for a roofing marketing strategy session with me. Also, this past year, I published my book, The Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing for Roofers. If you're a roofing company owner and you don't have this book in your hands, I will send you a free digital copy. Just go to go.roofingsites.com and I'll send you a free copy of my book. Well, join me next time when we connect with another great roofing entrepreneur and learning how they hack their growth. Until then, I'm Chris Hunter. Thanks and gig 'em.